All right, everyone. We're gonna get this formality underway. So if you want to gather around real close, obviously behind the cameras, but so let's get real cozy. All right. So thank you very much for coming here. Hang on a minute. 제가 일단 한국말로 스피치를 썼었는데 좀 어렵고 잘 못하겠더라고요. 그래가지고 영어로 스피치 할게요. You don't understand? Of course you do. Oh, when I speak in Korean, of course not. So I'm going to go in English, okay? All right. So thank you guys for being here with us. Just you guys being here right now with us means so much. And Rachel and I really thank you. It means really, you have no idea how much it means to us. And just before I jump into the speech, I'm going to do a really quick housekeeping just so everyone knows what's going on. So we've got a bathroom through this door here. And we have a kids a playpen area and the baby changing room behind you there through that door for the behind the fridge. And we have a photo balloon wall out there. So if you want to take photos and stuff like that, that'd be good. We also have a photographer and the videographer here. So if you want any professional photos or video taken, reach out to them. Otherwise, they'll just be roaming around today. And lastly, COVID safety. Currently, there are no restrictions for the house gathering, so long as you're double vaccinated. So we should be all good, but let's still be really mindful and careful. So when you're coughing, cover your mouth. And we've got the hand sanitizers all around the house, so feel free to use them as well. Alrighty, the speech. So another celebration and another speech. So huge thank you again for each and one of you for making the efforts to be here to celebrate Marcus's first ever birthday. Can we give it a round of applause for this guy? Yeah. All right, and before I go any further, I want to mention a few apologies today. This is very important from Marcus's grandparents because of the international travel restrictions. All four of them couldn't make it here today, and they've actually never seen him in the flesh, so we're really sad about that. But we miss you guys very, very much. So when I was preparing for this speech, and I wanted to come up with something very clever and witty to say, but I couldn't. So I'm going to tell you a little story about the day that Rachel and I, first met Marcus. And one day Marcus can look at this video and maybe think about and know what actually happened. So let's take a trip down the memory lane here. And it was over the Christmas period last year, so I didn't have to go to work, which was lucky. And it was around midday, and I was wrenching away in the garage, in my motorcycles as I usually do. And all of a sudden, Rachel barged into the room and said, "Oh my God, we've got to go. My water just broke." So this happened about a week before our scheduled due. So we had nothing planned. We thought we were planned, but looking back at it now, we didn't know what we were doing. Well, one thing we did remember was packing up the overnight bag earlier. So we grabbed it and we ran to the hospital. So back then, Australia was in full lockdown, so the hospital was really, really quiet, and there was nobody there, which was great. But regardless, we got admitted in, and because because her water was already broken, they immediately put her in the induction process. And dare I say, the first part of the labor was actually quite peaceful. Because epidural. Yes. So she had the epidural from the get-go, and we actually had enough energy to actually flick around the phone, make phone calls, and watch TVs and stuff like that. And
I just asked them, give it to me now.
Yeah, right now, from the get-go. But the second half, wow, seeing her lying in bed, lots of pain. And intensive labor, all of those contractions every bloody minute. And the way that she was holding that epidural pain relief button, I'll never forget that. And while all of those was happening in the background throughout the night and into the next morning, there I was, the man of the house, hungry.
I was sleeping.
I was hungry, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I could not for the life of me keep my eyes open because I was so sleepy. And in that moment, I felt pretty useless. So Rachel was in a labor for more than 12 hours, and, but we got through it. Well, Rachel got through it, and it was a successful birth at the end. And when we got to hold the baby in our arms for the first time, she's actually said this out loud, and she said, I'm scared.
Oh.
Mm. For me, having been through and seeing all of this in firsthand, what am I supposed to feel? For me, it was a relief because it was a successful birth, not knowing what is to come yet, but the weight of the responsibility, and most of all, I was really scared too. Despite all the books and articles that I read before, I was really struggling, and we did, and the struggle we did. But look at us now. We've come so far. We get to surround ourselves with this amazing people, and we still have a long way to go for our future. And this is the future that I'm really looking forward to. So that was a little story about the day that we met Marcus for the first time. Actually, at this point, I want to make a little toast for Rachel, actually, because having said this out loud, actually reminds me of the amazing journey that she had to go through, and I think she deserves a toast. Can I have a drink? Can I have a bottle of water? All right, so I'm going to raise a toast to Rachel, an amazing mother. And an amazing wife. To Rachel. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right. And I am going to end the speech on the note by telling you, sharing with you about this one moment in life that I thought was really special. And I wanted to say this out loud and share with everyone so you guys know how much Marcus means to me. So a few weeks ago, we had ended up at the emergency. And then the pediatric ward because Marcus had some breathing issue. He basically went blue and unresponsive. So basically a floppy baby. He's fine now, but in that moment in time, it was like, wow. I don't think I've ever panicked like that in my life before. So we called the ambulance and they took him to the hospital, but because the ambulance actually has a limit of how many people can go on board, I had to drive my own car and just follow the ambo from behind. And here I am driving the car, absolutely broken down, and I was bawling out of my eyes. And in my head, I was thinking, if they could save this baby, and if they need my life, today's the day I'm gonna die. I was thinking that all the way to the hospital, and that was with zero hesitation. So yeah, I'm sure all the parents are like that. But when I got to first experience it, it really was something. And yeah, so yet again, Marcus taught me something that I didn't think was possible. I've said this before and I'll say it again. This 12-month-old baby has taught me so much more than I ever taught him. So on that note, I would like to make a toast to Marcus. So thank you again. So I'd like to propose a toast to Marcus here. So thank you again for being here, little one. Mommy and Daddy loves you even more than you ever will know. To Marcus, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that's the speech. Thank you very much. Yeah. Cool. Now the lunch is served. So we'll get the food out and let's get the party going.